And people say no one's being arrested in the UK for posting a meme. Mr.Bean on free speech. Okay, well, let's see what Mr.Bean has to say.
My starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable.
He's saying that rich people can do things that poor people can't do.
Like the man arrested in Oxford.
Imagine that.
For calling a police horse gay.
A man got arrested. Wait, what?
Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay.
Well, why would they arrest him? If you arrest him, that means that being called gay is bad. And if being gay is bad, isn't that homophobic? What the fuck, man?
I read somewhere a defender of the status quo claiming that the fact that the gay horse case was dropped after the arrested man refused to pay the fine was proof that the law was working well.
That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my entire life. If you use that argumentation, then that means that anything that happens where the case is dropped. Has there ever been a case where somebody was eating a potato and they got arrested but the charge got dropped? No, it never happened because it's not against the law. Like that's insane.
The fact that the only reason these cases were dropped was because of the publicity that they had attracted.
Yeah, it's probably true.
The police sensed that ridicule was just around the corner and withdrew their action. But what about the thousands of other cases that did not enjoy the oxygen of publicity?
Think of all the gay horses that we don't know about.
Even for those actions that were withdrawn, people were arrested, questioned, taken to court, and then released. The clear problem with the outlawing of insult is that too many things can be interpreted as such. Criticism is easily construed as insult by certain parties.
Yeah, that's right. People disagreeing with you is harassment. You might have learned this from Twitter. Mr. Based? Yeah, I know.
It is what you might call the new intolerance.
Yep.
New but intense desire to gag uncomfortable voices of dissent. I am not intolerant, say many people. Say many softly spoken, highly educated, liberal-minded. I'm only intolerant of intolerance. And people tend to nod sagely and say, oh yes, wise words, wise words. And yet if you think about this supposedly inarguable statement for longer than 5 seconds,
that's the reason why this statement is so popular on Twitter, is because in order to figure out the problems with it, you have to think about it for more than 5 seconds.
All it is advocating is the replacement of one kind of intolerance with another.
That's right.
Which to me doesn't represent any kind of progress at all. Underlying prejudices, injustices, or resentments are not addressed by arresting people. They are addressed by the issues being aired, argued, and dealt with, preferably outside the legal process. For me, the best way to increase society's resistance to insulting or offensive speech is to allow a lot more of it. As with childhood diseases, you can better resist those germs to which you have been exposed. We need to build our immunity to taking offense. Our priority should be to deal with the message, not the messenger. If we want a robust society, we need more robust dialogue, and that must include the right to insult or to offend.
What a fucking legend. Holy shit. Well, I agree with everything he said. I had no idea he was that based, man. I had no idea. Autistic girl was arrested for saying a police officer looked like her lesbian nana. A guy put bacon outside of mosques, was sentenced to 12 months in prison and ended up dying in prison. The Guardian is currently calling for bringing Elon Musk to prison. A girl was sentenced to prison after insulting a gang rapist. Why do people in the UK put up with this? The American brain can't comprehend a society not accepting racist speech. You're right, we can't, because we think it's stupid. Because by banning people and putting people in jail for being racist, here's what's really crazy about that, is you don't stop people from being racist. That doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't make them less racist, it probably makes them actually more racist.